The reason why you keep having to buy salves is because obviously one, the Queen of Pain is not buying salves, and two, she's not pulling enough, right? So the difference in levels between you and the enemy is not that high at this point, and they're actually able to do a lot of damage to you. Because what ideally is happening is you're farming under tower, you're getting that tower region, the armor and whatever, and you're just like actually eating tangles instead of salves. Like in higher MMR brackets, people will not buy healing salves. The only reason why they buy healing salves on core or carries is because they have like 200 HP and they're sitting like, and they still want to farm or something, right? If you're gonna bring out regen, you should be bringing out tangles because it's more efficient. If you like our content, please do like and subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to click the notification button below so you will be notified when a new video will be released. This game, Baby Zergling playing his Faceless Void. Starting off, he knows Bristleback is coming off lane. He buys Magic Stick, really good item choice. Pretty much free regen in the lane. Got one set of tangles. He can bring out more regen if he needs to. His support is a Queen of Pain. Ooh, push by Queen of Pain. Not a very normal support. So it actually ends up not being Bristleback in the off lane. It ends up being a Bristleback middle. So he's actually laning against Sven and Dazzle. That's going to make him a little bit sad because he's going to be starting off with a Magic Stick level 1 against these two heroes. And he's, as you can see, he's actually going for a Wraith Band right away. He's got a Slipper. But I think in this kind of lane, when you know that there's no Bristleback anymore and you bought a Magic Stick level 1, you're going to need to bring more regen out for sure. So let's see if he does that. Because if he doesn't, the lane can potentially get a little bit harder because his Quap also didn't start with a lot of regen for his safe lane. So it could be a little bit problematic if the enemy really start to harass him quite a bit. So we'll also keep an eye out for that. The lane's pushing right now. The Quap should be pulling. She does go over. This pulling method was not super efficient. If you're a support, you should actually pull down like from this tree thing so it pulls further in. And Baby Zergling pretty much has like perfect last hits up until now. And he goes for the Wraith Band. And you can see he doesn't actually buy any regen here, which I think is quite problematic at the moment already. You can see he's already down to 400 HP. If the enemy is like smart, they should commit some spells to this Void here. Now he gets a healing salve out. But this is where like normally against good players, if he didn't already bring out tangles from the first wave or second wave, like they could actually remove a lot of regen and make you pretty much impossible to lane. So he actually pulls himself, realizing that the Quap is not doing it, which is really good. Now he's going to be able to farm a wave under a tower. He did lose a few last hits up here because he wasn't able to contest those because the Queen of Pain was just straight up not pulling, right? So that was a bit unfortunate for him. Now he's just going to saw back up. And here's where like tangles obviously would have been a little bit more efficient in regening up, especially for a hero like Faceless Void. And I think in these kind of lanes, it's a lot better to actually just skill up Time Lock. One, you have greater chance, more damage, and it's just like skilling up. Sorry, not Time Lock. Skilling up Time Lock. Yeah, Time Lock is not that good. Like during the laning stage, typically, especially when you're playing against heroes like Sven and Dazzle, you need to have that burst damage available. Time Lock is like, it's just a free HP card, right? That's pretty much all it really is. In this lane, you shouldn't be afraid of like dying to Dazzle and Sven or anything like that. They have very slow damage. One Time Walk will completely disengage from the enemy. You won't really need like constantly have lower cooldown of the spell. So anytime they come up, you can bash them, and then with like a level 2 Shadow Strike, there's always potential to kill them as long as you have sufficient damage, I think. But other than that, like everything looks pretty good so far. And the fact that you're pulling for yourself makes so much, is giving so much freedom for yourself. You're making up for the fact that your Queen of Pain is actually not a very good support player. And you're actually denying some creeps from the enemy too. You can look at the level difference between Sven and you. right now, and now there's like stack as well. It's gonna make it even harder for the opponent to be able to contest that. So you bait the Sven out a bit, you had to use another healing salve on yourself. At least you really knew your limits, and the Quap ended up being the one getting the kill. Got first blood. And at this point, you kind of just want to keep on farming, because like getting your level 6 is everything in these situations. Ooh, interesting. Time dilation as well, scaled up. And then the Quap, no regen either. This is actually your third healing salve in this lane. So this is like always something I talk about with my higher MMR players. Like, the reason why you keep having to buy salves is because obviously, one, the Queen of Pain is not buying salves, and two, she's not pulling enough, right? So the difference in levels between you and the enemy is not that high at this point, and they're actually able to do a lot of damage to you. Because what ideally is happening is you're farming under tower, you're getting that tower regen, the armor and whatever, and you're just like actually eating tangles instead of salves. Like in higher MMR brackets, people will not buy healing salves. The only reason why they buy healing salves on core or carries is because they have like 200 HP and they're sitting like, and they still want to farm or something, right? If you're gonna bring out regen, you should be bringing out tangles, because it's one, more efficient for the price, and it's not going to be so costly on you. Like, you're actually saving a lot of gold. Like, this one's 90 gold, this one's 110 gold. You would have saved yourself 60 gold worth of regen, plus you would have actually healed up more in those situations too, where sometimes like healing salve is actually over healing you. Secondly, healing salve is like something you want to ask your position 5 to buy for you, and like kind of hold it after the engagements. Like, they heal you up, right? Of course, in this game, maybe the Quap is not going to do that for you. Maybe he doesn't understand what that even means, even if you tell him. But the number one thing is like, this Queen of Pain needed to be pulling. This Queen of Pain is taking way too much XP from you in the lane. You're level 5, 7 minutes into that game, and you've ate 3 salves already. So that feels like terrible. Like, if you want to become a better player, you want to, you know, be 6k MMR someday, like, you're going to have to get used to understanding that, like, how to be efficient with those things. Like, for example, bringing out tangles, focusing focusing on creeps for last hits, you know, pulling aggro so that the enemy can't harass you, and also getting your support to pull when you know they can't kill you. Like, Dazzle can poison you and you just leap on out, wait 3 seconds, 4 seconds, walk back into the creep wave, and that's it, done. They can never kill you again, right? So like in this lane, you can actually literally solo them, to be fair. You don't even need this Queen of Pain, like in this lane, as long as you keep aggroing off the enemy hero, putting it to you, and then you just last at the creeps whenever they get low. In my opinion, Dazzle Sven lane is like an extremely weak lane, because they don't actually have burst damage. They're just like one stun plus a little bit of damage, and then most of the damage for Dazzle is like damage over time. So like one time walk will literally completely disengage from that. And that's where here, ideally, like in good games, what would be like, you'd be already level 6 by now on your Void, and you wouldn't have had to buy like 3 healing salves in this game, I think. So Axe has actually made his way to bottom, jungling camps near you, and the Quap is still leeching XP. So in this stage in the game, the best thing to do is, like, if the Quap doesn't want to pull, you can ask her to go make space elsewhere. Like, she's not doing you any favors by staying in this lane already, right? She really isn't. And she's not even using herself to like heal you. So she's essentially like another core who's just leeching your XP and making the game actually harder for you at this point in the game. So you're almost level 6. Use yourself, heal up a bit. Now you got your chrono up. And it's 9 minutes in. And I think right there, it probably was a really good chance for you to just kill the Sven right here. Like, if this Queen of Pain just hits the Sven and you chrono him, he's dead. Most Dazzles don't scale Grave, but even let's say they do scale Grave, like even if they Grave this Sven, probably you can chase him down, right, with your Quap and yourself with your Time Walk or whatever. I think there's this Sven looks pretty dead to me, especially since he has a Shadow Strike on top of him. But as you can see, like by now in the game, it must feel really bad for you because you're just level 6, 9 minutes in. I think any carry who's just level 6, 9 minutes in is not going to be very happy, especially without any kills either. You got pretty decent farm. I wouldn't call it amazing because obviously like Spectre and Wraith King seem to be farming a little bit more than you are. But like this Queen of Pain just needs to do... Is she... Are you guys party queued in this game? No, it looks like solo queue. Okay, so yeah, so this Queen of Pain, like, she needs to be better at whatever she's doing. Like, you guys need to communicate, or at least you need to help your Queen of Pain understand, like, we're killing these heroes as soon as you're 6. Like, this guy is 100% dead, actually, if Queen of Pain is just standing below you here and right-clicking this Sven. Okay, great. You guys kill him, like, literally 20 seconds later. And she's still sitting bottom. It's like 10 minutes in. She ain't want to move. At least she gets the bounty runes. That's good. And now you have made your way into the jungle because you've already pushed out bottom. Catapults are coming. You want to protect your bottom tower from the catapult at least. Okay, so you were asking about how to play more efficiently on Faces Void. One thing that's really good is Mask of Madness early on. Like, nowadays what people do is instead of going for the power treads, they would go like 2 Wraith Bands and straight into Mask of Madness, just buying the mask itself first instead of, like, you know, gloves or whatever, or boots, because you can get some more sustain for yourself, and then you just finish off the Mask of Madness instantly before you get treads. So once you do have the chrono, you already have Mask of Madness in your inventory, or maybe at least you have Mask of Madness for your second chrono, whatever it may be. Most of the time you actually have Mask of Madness for your first chrono, because you generally free farm your 2 Wraith Bands and then you can get Mask of Madness. And that's actually like a super efficient item build. Treads does not give that much in comparison to Mom, actually. And then if you need to go jungle, then you also have the sustain from that, which is really nice too. This is like what all the Immortal players are actually doing nowadays with Faces Void.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Steal your face.
So you defend off bottom, and this game is extremely awkward because not only your Quap is leeching your XP, but your Axe is also just like jungling your creep camps, right? At this point in the game, now that you've already like pushed off the catapult bottom, it will be a lot better instead of sitting 3 heroes bottom. Like, you actually go top now and start pushing out this lane, and maybe also be able to farm in these jungle camps here, because you staying bottom is only like colliding with the enemy's pressure place where they want to come here, maybe attack your tower, but also you're not able to like farm more. You just, like, up until now you farm 1 big camp and only the creep waves, right? So your net worth is limited to whatever the game is giving you through the lanes, right? So if you want to be more efficient and you want to get more farm and be like level, let's say 10 by now, then it's already time for you to abandon this lane, especially once the 10-minute catapult's dead, because once the 10-minute catapult's dead, this tower is not going to die fast. And you can leave this lane. You either 2 things, right? One, you can farm here, farm here, farm here, farm here, farm here, and then make your way to the triangle until your chrono's up again. Or you TP out from bottom to top, push the lane, and then you farm this camp, and then you either go farm here if they're all bottom, or you go farm the triangle area if they're not bottom, right? What would most likely happen is you would probably TP top, push with your Wind Ranger, and then probably take the top tier 1 tower with your Wind Ranger, and then you would be just farming up here, farming here, and then farming here, and then you keep doing that for a little while. And then whenever the lanes are pushed out, you farm the neutral camps, and then that's how you get more net worth. Yeah, but in my opinion, like, even if you go top for next chrono, the fact that you're level 7 at or about to only hit level 12 at 8 at 12 minutes, it's like, this feels bad. Like it just feels bad because you're a carry, you want to farm fast, right? Like you only have 2 levels in time lock, and this is not something that will allow you to farm any faster. I mean, if you want to take it to the next level, right? If you're content with the speed that you're farming at, that's fine. It really depends on, you know, what you're trying to figure out and what you're trying to learn from the games. Now, going top with the second chrono is okay, but in terms of increasing your farming speed, you should be farming through the jungle on your way to top in these situations, instead of just sitting bottom, I think, at the tower. So here's your second chrono, and you guys actually end up killing 2 heroes. They're just like 3k net worth right now. And Bristleback also dies. And now you got your Mask of Madness. So let's see what you do after this. So you're going to the jungle, and you're still staying around bottom lane. I think at this point, like, you don't want to stay in this lane anymore. Like, these lane creeps aren't even giving you that much in comparison to just making your way through the jungle all the way towards the top triangle area. So now you go top, 16 minutes into the game. Farm the camp near here. You got a chrono. The chrono the Spectre. You kill him. Nice. And you're getting a Yasha next. So your typical items for Void is like most of the time SNY or MKB. MKB because it gives you Knuckles, which is really good, and Javelin. And then it also has evasion piercing. Most likely someone on the enemy team will go Halberd because you're against like Wind Ranger, Wraith King, you have a lot of physical damage. So I'm gonna go back here a little bit actually and point something out. So your farming pattern here, like, it's not terrible, but I mean, it's not bad, but I think you can have a better, like, a more efficient farming pattern that doesn't clash with your allies and applies more pressure to the enemy. So you stay top here, and then you farm top, your teammates die top, and then you farm the Ancients, right? Which is really good. But here, like, you should kind of just wait for the Ancients to spawn again. And then you farm the Ancients again, and then you should analyze the map and what's happening on the map, right? While you're farming the A-team and the Ancients, instead of walking to this camp that's down here and playing behind, really far behind your team, and where, like, you can't really make any moves from this position, you farm this, and then you see the angle. If you see, like, couple heroes middle, or they're going bottom to attack to take the bottom tower, you could just make your way back top and push this camp, and, like, farm the lane or whatever, right? And then you just do your farming pattern once again. But what happens is, the moment that you go back into a defensive point on the map over here in the jungle, now you're only making, like, plays to just get gold, essentially. You're not doing any plays that will help apply pressure to the enemy. How you apply pressure to the enemy while farming is constantly pushing lanes and farming in a position where the enemy needs to react to those creeps going in, right? So farming up here means that whatever you're doing is like you're teabagging your opponent, right? They went top, they killed the axe, and now they're going to leave that area because there's pressure being applied somewhere else, right? So when they go somewhere else to apply pressure, then when another hero shows up top again, they're going to feel frustrated because they literally just dealt with that lane, and now there's another hero there as soon as they left. And that's what you want to be doing, right? So in this position, 18 minutes, you wait for the Ancient again to spawn, farm the Ancients, and then what would happen is they probably make a play mid or bottom, and you're already walking top to push that lane again. And you're a lot more difficult to kill than anybody else. But when you go here, it's like, now you're kind of stuck in this area of the map where your only choice is to either go bottom or middle, and like now there's nobody pushing top out. And you don't want to use your TP to push top out, because now you can't use your TP to help bottom if a fight breaks out there and you want to help your teammates, right? So you kind of like put yourself in an awkward position on the map. So like what the whole point out of all this is, like, you want to make your farming pattern like this as much as you can in the game. Like this is the farming pattern you always want. Because that is always going to be the most efficient, effective farming pattern. The only time you want to leave this farming pattern is if they're running into your farming pattern. And then you need to go bottom to find a different farming pattern. But if nobody is literally running into your triangle and stopping you from farming, you always take that.
Tower is under attack. Dire's courier has been killed.
So you end up doing the same thing where like you go here, then you go back top, and it's like really inefficient movement, right? And now this top lane has been stuck here for like in this area for like a couple of minutes already, and now your enemy pretty much has been able to do whatever they want. Like there's no pressure coming out of the top lane. So as a carry, typically this is your responsibility. And here they come for you, you TP out, perfect. It's great. Alright, so they're pushing. Nice 4-man chrono. You go straight onto the Dazzle. Good target to jump onto. Because you would actually save your Bristol back if you didn't. Then you go for the Sven. Really nice. Oh, that's very nice. Yeah, so I think in this game, like I would have loved to have seen an SNY instead of a Manta. Mainly because like the only thing you're actually removing is like goo, poison, and ignite, right? From your opponent. I think if you go SNY, you can go for Satanic, then you have like insane status resist, and then all of a sudden you won't get bursted by Sven, right? Like the status resist from SNY alone is like amazing, I think. And then also, you know, the poison doesn't last so long, goo doesn't last as long, Ogre stun won't last that long. All really nice options.
Dire are scanning. Radiant's
Oh, Wraith King got abandoned. Sag. Now you made your way towards mid. Farming mid. Got an Arcane Rune. You go bottom now. So, like, at this point in the game, you don't really want to make this play where, like, you go from top, mid, all the way to bottom, especially on Radiant. The reason being is because there's Roshan, right? Like, this is still alive. Nobody ever took Roshan in this game. So, the fact that you go bottom is like you're allowing the enemy to clash with you, or even worse yet, steal Roshan. So another reason when you're playing Radiant, try to play more on the top side, right? You play top side, you play for the Ancients, like how I said, your farming pattern, you keep playing here. And then if the enemy make a mistake and you kill someone, then you go straight into the Roshan pit and take Aegis, right? So you have a second life. And now, next time they fight you, they're fighting into your Aegis, and they're gonna feel bad because of it, right? So like, a fight breaks out bottom, whatever happens, but it's like so awkward because this didn't need to happen to begin with. Or again, better yet, if this fight broke off top because you guys are all there, then you can take Roshan naturally. These are like things that typically happen in like other brackets apart from Immortal, where people kind of just fight anywhere on the map. Whereas like in Immortal bracket, people they specifically choose areas on the map where they want to take engagements. And if you can take that away and like you try to play in those areas on the map where you want to take engagements, you're going to get better fights for yourself, and that leads to more objectives. And that would be top area, like I said. So multiple reasons. You farm better there, you can apply better pressure there, the enemy has a hard time getting to you. That's 3 already. And the 4th is once you've hit a point in the game where you're so farmed, like you have Mask of Madness and Manta, you're so farmed, as soon as you win one engagement, you're taking Roshan instantly. And then, boom. 4 reasons why it's so good to play top lane in this game. Nice Quap ulti. You get a good chrono. You go on the Spectre. And you're dead. Sag. So like this fight obviously didn't even need to happen, right? At all. Lol, Wraith King was so farmed even though he had to abandon the game.
Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Back alive, you walk to bottom.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Get a Chrono, you go on the Dazzle. Dazzle graves himself. You almost got the kill on the Dazzle. Then you end up killing 2 heroes. Alright, not too shabby in the end. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, Voids, the only reason why they would ever want to buy Manta is for silences, pretty much. Like, I think 90% of the reason why you buy Manta and Void is for silence. If you're not buying Manta for silence, then you're just buying S and Y. All the other chances. If you're not buying S and Y, then your other item choice is Shadow Blade. Sorry, not Shadow Blade. Mask of Madness into MKB into BKB. Like, that's your bread and butter on this hero, because they're just the best source of damage and survivability. But if you go Mask of Madness S and Y, and then you get like, say, another damage item and a Satanic or something, it's great in this game because you're gonna have so much status assist with it. But overall, again, my biggest thing about this game is, like, just don't try to fight here. Like, as much as you can, don't try to get yourself involved in this area of the map when you're Radiant. Try to get yourself involved in this area of the map as much as you can when you're Radiant, and you will see yourself, like, skyrocket in net worth. You have 13k net worth. This is typically, like, I want to say minute 25 or 24, like, net worth of a Void on an average game. So you're definitely, like, feeling kind of bad in terms of, like, where you want to be, or where you could be at least.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And as soon as, like, you get yourself accustomed to playing on the top and mid area of the map instead of bottom area, you will see your farm skyrocket. I think you've already missed your chance to, like, farm this Ancients a few times too. Like, this is your #1 source of gold right here, this camp. So the closer you play to this camp, the better it's gonna be for you too. So you go Echo Saber, so you get your Silver Edge first. I mean, I like that you thought about the Silver Edge against the heroes, which is really nice. Queen of Pain is owning. Silver Edge again. Find the Ogre Magi. Good kill on the support. Ooh, shackled. And another break. Wow, the Silver Edge is doing mad work. Very nice. And Roshan, looks like a pretty easy opportunity for you guys to just go in and do Roshan with your Wind Ranger, since she has Focus Fire up. So yeah, think about Rosh as much as you can after 20 minutes as well. Like, this is one thing I noticed in every bracket, even sometimes in Immortal bracket, people ignore Roshan. I don't know why they ignore Roshan, but they gotta realize Roshan is broken, guys. You get an extra life. They're gonna spend like 3,000 damage or 4,000 damage worth and a bunch of stuns on you when you have Aegis, and then you're just gonna come back alive, right? And it gives an opportunity for your team to also, you know, play off that damage that you've soaked. So every time you outnumber your enemy, it's always a good chance for you to just go and rush. So you guys kill Bristleback. You got a Chrono ready. Popped your Manta, trying to get away. Okay, wow, they didn't plan to ward there. Nice. Get a juke. Walk away from your enemy. You don't want to engage. Doesn't feel good, especially you guys don't have any vision on the map right now. And you're going for Satanic next. Great. You disassemble for the Satanic. Alright. I always tend to feel bad when I disassemble my Mask of Madness on Void, because it feels like you lose like so much damage or something. Is that all good? Got your Satanic, you manned up and killed the Sven. Sven can't do anything if you get some bashes on him. Nice.
Radiant's
Very
top
good
tower
kill while
is under
everybody else
attack.
was top. And now you
Radiant's
TP back. You got a chrono ready. You buy an orchid straight up. You literally just had a satanic and now you just finished an orchid. Oh, you guys maybe sold some of his items, huh? Alright. Orchid onto the Dazzle. Very nice. He doesn't have Greaves. You kill him. You still have chrono ready. Chrono, 2 of the heroes. And you go and hunt the Spectre down. Nice. Okay. Alright. Let's stop right here. Because, I mean, I think at this point you guys got this in the bag. So, in this game, what I've learned is very simple. You're great at, like, hitting creeps and killing heroes and understanding how to cast your spells, right? That's probably your biggest strength. You know how to use your items, which is good for the most part, like in your bracket. Now, that being said, your biggest weakness, I would say, watching this game is your map movements. You're not prioritizing how to maximize your levels and your farm while also applying pressure to the enemy, especially in the early game. So how we fix that is by playing on the right place on the map, which is on the enemy safe lane and in your triangle as much as you can, under the protection of a ward, no ward, whatever, it's fine, until the enemy come to your place to kick you out. So the only time that you should ever be leaving, pushing top, farming these camps, shoving the lanes, farming ancients, is if they come to you, or you need to TP to a fight to get free kills. If you're not getting free kills, you're never ever leaving, like literally this area of the map. You're constantly shoving this and you're always going to want people to react to this tower here, or like you're farming, right? And if you do this, you're going to see your net worth, 1, skyrocket, and 2, you're going to find yourself dying a lot less because you're not going to be in useless fights. Like literally fighting bottom is 1,000,000,000% useless because there's no objectives for you to take there to begin with, and there's no objective that's worth protecting, right? So as soon as you identify those 2 things, that means if you ever find yourself in this area of the map, like after 9 minutes in a game, typically you're probably doing things that are having negative impact on the game. Okay, so the only time that I ever expect a carry to be here is because he's clearing the 10-minute catapult that's coming bottom, and then he's gonna leave after that, because anything else other than that is gonna make your farm slower, a lot slower, a lot slower. Okay, so you do that, and then after 20 minutes, like, you should probably have enough items where if you win an engagement, you kill 2 heroes, you want to take Roche. The moment you get Aegis, now you can do whatever you want. You can take tier 2 towers, you can bait yourself, you can like go to a team fight, no problem. You can analyze the situation as you wish, because I'm pretty sure you're pretty good at doing that. But just, you know, better positioning will give you a better game. That being said, you know, you guys won 4v5, so you should be very proud of yourselves. And I hope that this helped you in figuring out like how you could farm faster and how you could enable your game better. And like, for example, this fight here, you remember that, right, where you died with the arcane rune? Like, the best way to avoid those situations is not like, oh, I shouldn't think about fighting or whatever. Just don't go there. Don't go to this part of the map. It's just not worth it for you in any way. It's just not worth it.